Hi, folks. My name's Jimmy, and as I've told you before, I collect digital trading cards, and I pick out the favorites from a set, and then I share them with you. I've really got some nice ones for you today, folks. This is the 1955 Topps baseball cards, my top 25 cards from that series. Just look at the color of these beautiful, beautiful cards. Let's go through them. These are my top 25 from this series. First, I have Ted Williams, outfield, Boston Red Sox, card number 2. Of course, as you all remember, Ted Williams is the last man to hit 400 batting average, and just a great all-around player. He went into service during World War II and the Korean War, and you may not know this, but believe it or not, he was the wingman. He was a jet fighter pilot, and he was the wingman for John Glenn, the first man in space. Ted Williams was his wingman during the Korean War. Can you believe it? Okay, the next card is Al Kaline, outfield, Detroit Tigers, Mr. Tiger himself, card number 4. Andy Carey, third base, New York Yankees, card number 20. My favorite player when I was growing up was the great Bill Moose Skowron. They had said he even had muscles in his nose, card number 22. I was fortunate enough to meet the Moose in 2000 in a Chicago airport. He was heading to spring training to do some PR work for the Chicago White Sox. I told him that he was my favorite player when I was growing up. He asked me for a piece of paper, and I put my name and address on it, and 2 weeks later, he sent me an autographed picture personally from him. And it's a treasure I'll keep forever. Dick Groat, shortstop, Pittsburgh Pirates, card number 26. Of course, he was part of that great 1960s World Series team that beat the Yankees. I think it was Bill Mazeroski hit that big homer right at the end of the series, a walk-off home run. Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, shortstop, Chicago Cubs, card number 28. 500 home run hitter. His favorite saying was, "Let's play two." He loved double headers. He just loved the game. The great Warren Spahn, pitcher for the Milwaukee Braves. The man won 20 games or more 10 times in his career. Warren Spahn, card number 31. Bob Turley, card number 38. Of course, I also have one of my favorite cards of his was the 1958 Topps All-Star card. That's probably my favorite series, but look at the color of this beautiful card right here. The great Henry Hank Aaron, of course, the man that broke Babe Ruth's home run record. They said it could never be done, but he did it, and he did it without them things, them supplements that a lot of people used in later years. Just a great natural all-around player. Just a great man for baseball. Great player. Jackie Robinson. In 1947, he broke the color barrier. He was the right man, the right time to do the job. Just a great ball player and great for the sport itself. Gus Triondos. Of course, right here it says first base, Baltimore Orioles, and of course, all of you who know how good this man was, you know he was a catcher. I think that's a mistake right there. I think it was an all-star in the early 60s, but just a great all-around player. Camilo Pascual, pitcher, Washington Nationals. Of course, many of you know he was a great pitcher in the major leagues for many, many years. Don Zimmer, shortstop, Brooklyn Dodgers, card number 92. Of course, he was a coach for years. That probably is more claim to fame than it was being a shortstop. The great Ted Kluszewski, first base, Cincinnati Reds. Of course, he in 1959 he went with the Chicago White Sox to the World Series. He used to take the sleeves out of his arms like Jimmy Fox. Had so many big muscles. He just wanted to show them off, show everybody what he had. Here's one of the top cards in baseball collecting. The 1955 Sandy Koufax, pitcher, the Brooklyn Dodgers, card number 123. That's his rookie card, folks. Just what a great, great pitcher. One of the hardest fastballs ever in the game. Harmon Killebrew. They say the man could hit the ball a country mile. And 500 home run hitter. I've seen him on TV hit some of the most towering shots. The ball just went on and on and on. It just didn't seem like it was ever going to come down. Ken Boyer, third base, St. Louis Cardinals, card number 125. Just a great, great player. Took the Cardinals to the World Series. Of course, that was in the early 60s. Bob Gibson pitching. I think he hit a key home run to win that series. Eddie Matthews. Now, this is one great player. He played with the High Toms in High Point, North Carolina, in the minor leagues back about the time I was born in 1948, I believe it was. They went on to play with the Milwaukee Braves. 500 home run hitter. Can you imagine facing him and Hank Aaron in the same lineup? Roberto Clemente. Of course, his claim to fame was just a tremendous all-around player, great fielder, great hitter. Got his 3,000th hit at the last day of the season, and then went to do some humanitarian aid, and unfortunately was killed in a plane crash. It was just such a sad time. But, oh man, what a great player he was. Hank Bauer, outfield, New York Yankees, card number 166. Probably one of the best clutch hitters of all time. He didn't bat a real high average, but when you needed that hit, Hank Bauer got it for those Yankees back in the 50s. He also managed the Baltimore Orioles and took them to a World Series. I think it was in the early 70s. Gil Hodges, first baseman, Brooklyn Dodgers, played for years. I believe he was also the manager of the Mets, the amazing 1969 Mets, card number 187. The great shortstop for the New York Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, card number 189. The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, card number 194. The man literally could do it all. I've seen him climb fences and catch balls that nobody would ever dream of catching. And of course, when you hear about the catch, the man who made the catch was Willie Mays. Yogi Berra, catcher, New York Yankees, card number 198. Just, what can you say? MB player 3 times. He could do it all. He could just do it all. He had some of those wonderful sayings. One of them was, it ain't over till it's over. That's Yogi Berra. And the last card of my top 25 favorites is the great Duke Snider, outfield, Brooklyn Dodgers, card number 210. I believe, it's not very well known, but I believe Duke Snider hit more home runs in the 1950s than any other player. And when you consider that there were players like Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, the list goes on, and he was the home run king. Well, folks, there you have it. That's my 25 favorites from the 1955 Topps baseball card list. Join me later when I come up with another set. Y'all really have a nice day. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.